Yeah, so let's solve another problem based on a stack. So the problem is backspace-string-compare, and I have already explained this problem in another channel. That's a logic building, and if you do not understand that, then you can watch this video. This is going to be long video, and here I'm going to use programming language golang, and we'll also learn a little bit golang stuff here. So let's start. So let's try to understand this problem. Saying there are two strings s and t, and if they are equal when both are typed into the empty text editors, and hash means backspace character. So if you analyze these two strings, and you can see here abc hash, so there is a one hash, that means that's a backspace, so the b will be deleted, so remaining characters will be ac. And here also there is a one hash, so d will be deleted, so there will be ac remaining. So in that case we want to return true. For the example s, there are two hash, so that's a two backspace, so we can delete this ab. One hash that will delete d, this hash will delete c, so both s and t become empty. So in that case also we want to return true. In this scenario, if you see ac, there is a one hash, so a will be deleted, there will be c in the string s, and there will be b in the string t. So in this case, both string have one character, but they are different. So in this case we want to return false. So let's try to understand how to implement this using a stack, and then we'll jump on code. So this is ab has c, and this is ad has c. So the string is ab has c, and another string that is ab has d. So we will create the two stacks. So let's say this is a stack 1, and there will be a stack 2, and we know the property of a stack. Whatever you put that in a stack, and you pop the item, you can pop from the top. So that's the property of a stack. So how will you utilize the stack here? So we'll use a loop and get the one item at a time from the loop. So we'll iterate this string characters, and then we'll get a, b has c, and then when we get a, so let's say we got first item a, so we'll store that in here in stack 1a. Then we'll get b, we'll store b here. In the similar way, whenever we get hash, so that means delete, so we'll pop one item from a stack. So whenever we pop the item will be removed from the top. So there is a one hash, so as soon as we get hash, we pop one item, so b, that's a gone. And then we'll get c, so c will come here. So that's done. So stack 1 has ca. We'll iterate another string in the same way, and we'll get A. So we'll come here and stack 2 will have A. Then we'll get B, so we'll store B in a stack 2, and as soon as we get hash, we'll pop one item from stack 2. So we'll pop from the top, B gone, remaining will A. Now we'll get another item D, so we'll add D here. So in this case, we see CA and the remaining will be DA, so it's not going to match. So in this case we'll return false. But yeah, so that's the logic. So at the end, what we'll do, we'll get first we'll check the size of stack 1 and stack 2, and if both empty, then return true. So that's the one logic. Another logic, we can check, okay, we have the item in stack 1 and stack 2, so we'll get the item one by one from a stack, and we'll see we'll get the top item from stack 1 C, we'll get top item from stack 2, that's a D. We'll compare and we see that they do not match, and we'll return false. If there are the same items in both stack, then we'll iterate stack 1 and stack 2, and we'll see everything is matching, then return true. So that is a very simple logic here. We can use the to stack and we can implement the logic. So let's write the code and try to understand. Okay, so before writing main logic for this backspace, let's try to understand how to iterate the string in a golang. So we'll see a few interesting things here, and then we'll write actual code. So let's say there is a string s1 and I have the value abc, and I'm going to iterate this. So there are two ways we can iterate the item. So I'm going to use the range, and then I'll use the variable I and will iterate, and we'll see there is some differences. So if I use a range, so range like this s1, and from the s1 we'll get the item A, B, C that will be stored in a V, and that's for the index, and we are not utilizing this now. So if I iterate a string in this way, then let's print the V and C first. So we printf, I can say percentage v, okay, save it, run it. So 9787, okay. If you convert to string, then let's see now. Okay, we'll get AB, that's good. Okay, now I will store this to our array. So I'll make it str array, and before that also let's see what is the type of this V. So let's see the type. Okay, save it and see the type here. So this is saying the type is int32. So if I iterate a string with the range, then we'll get type 32. And the same thing if I iterate this string with a loop using the variable I. So let's say I equal to 0 and I less than len s1 I plus plus, then I'll use the same thing here. Just try to print the type. So in this case s1 I. So this is the let's run this and see what's the output we get here. So you see it's a int 32 and here we see the uint 8. Let's print one more line. Okay, let's run it now. Yeah, so if I use the range, then type will be int 32, and if I use the loop with the variable I and get character with the array like using this, then we'll get uint 8. So that's an interesting fact. You have to notice this. Okay, so based on this, like we for this solution we are going to use this stack operation, and we want to iterate through string, so we have to understand this. So another interesting fact, like if I want to store this in an array, I will declare variable string array, and then let's define the type. So type, that's for first one is int 32, so we can use the int 32 here, and like let's say it's a string, string array 1, and I can append this, then I can add this v. Let's print str1. Okay, let's run now. Okay, let's convert this to the string. So we got the ABC here, ABC. Okay, that's good. That's a type is in 32, and we want to iterate and store in an array. The type should be in 32, or if you can change to run e, that works too. So I'll save it, and still the same result, ABC. And in this case, you can use the run e. That's fine, that works, but you have to convert this to run e or in 32. So we can use the run e also for this. Let's try the similar thing here. So string is a 2. So 2. This is also 2. And store the value using s1 I. So the for this this is a uint 8, so we can use a uint 8 here, int 8, and this work. Let's print this. Okay, we got that value, convert to a string, and we'll get the string. Okay, ABC. So we can have like uint 8, or you can change this to byte, so that's also it's the same thing. Okay, we got the ABC. Even though like if you can use the run e, that's fine, or in 32 we can use that also, but we need the type conversion here. So that's the I wanted you to know about this loop and how it behaves. Let's come back to our original problems. Okay, so we have the s1 string and there is a b has c and a b has d. We want to define to stack, so we need to import container list. We can use this list for defining a stack as well as queue. So in this here, like, we are going to define stack, so let's say stack1 and it's a list dot new, stack2 list dot new. Okay, we'll iterate s1. So I will use the first approach. I'm going to use the range. So for I don't care about index, so it's a value, then range, it's a s1. I'll get the item here. I'll check. Let's store the item first. So stack1 push back v. So I'm storing this. Before this, I can check if it is has. Then we know what we are supposed to do. If you get the has, then that is whenever we get the has, that's the backspace. So get the item from the top out of stack. So we'll do that. So let's add that logic. Okay, so if p equal to, it's a has, so in this case we want to remove the item from the stack1. So stack1 remove is the function, and then we want to remove from the top. So stack1 like back, so that item will be removed from the stack. So that's for s1. Will use the similar logic for another string s2. Iterate s2 has removed from stack2. Okay, so that's good. Now let's check the size of this stack1 and stack2. So so we wanted to return as a true false, so let's move this everything in a function. So just name this the same function. So backspace compare, let's do in that way. Backspace compare, we can pass s1 s2 both, and type for both is string. We can have main here, and we can call this function. We can bring this the main, pass s1 and s2. The return type is boolean. Okay, now bring this println. Okay, so if let's check the size for, if like I'm going to check if both stacks are empty, then return true. So if s1 dot len equal to s2 dot is len equal to 0 and s2 dot len equal to 0. So in this case, return true, because if both are empty, then that's a true. Before that, we can also make some condition here, like s1 s2. We can return like one. We can have one more check here. If length of s1 equal to 0 and length of s2 equal to 0, then also return true. Okay, now we check this condition, and if it is not true, like if len equal to 0, and if it is not true, then that means the stack 1 has something, stack 2 has also something. So this is stack 1 and it's a stack 2. Okay, so let's iterate from the stack the item one by one. So I can have the logic here. If stack 1 dot length greater than 0 and stack 2 dot length greater than 0, there is something. So if there is something, then we can check the like length also. Like if it is, let's have another condition. If the stack 1 dot length not equal to stack 2 dot length, then return false, because we know that in a stack 1 has all the refined item over there. If there's a hash, then the item will be deleted, top item will be deleted. So in that case, we are if the string are same, then the length of the string 1 and string 2 must be same. But if it is in a other way, then that's a false. The strings are not equal. But in the case, okay, so then in this case we do not have to check this logic, because we know that in this case this stack 1 and stack 2 length are same. So I can loop like this. Like let's say I equal to 0, I less than length stack 1 dot length. So I can use either stack 1 or stack 2 for the iteration, because the length of both are same. Okay, I plus plus get the pop item one by one from both stack. So let's get item from stack 1. So stack 1, remove, then it's stack 1 back. So when we remove the item, let's store this in element, and we have to convert this element to expected type. So let's say item 1 element, the type is what we store, what's there in this. So we use the range, so that means it's a run e. So we are storing as a run e or in 32. So we have to define that run e here. Just provide this run e, and then we'll get the item 1. In the similar way, get the item 2. Okay, that's from stack 2. So let's mention stack 2. Okay, so we got the item 1 and item 2, and then we have to check whether both are same or not. So let's check if item 1 not equal to item 2, then we have to return false. In other case, it will go iterate and it will reach to end, and then at the end you can return true. So that's the logic. Let's run it, try see for the compile time error and other stuff here. So line 48. So element, let's make it element 1, or maybe if I want to use the same element, then just give the equal to. This is for the new variable, so colon and equal to. So element and run. Okay. Oh, return false. That's good, because you are expecting result is a false. If I make it C here, then in this case, B will be removed, this B will be removed, remaining will be AC and here AC. That should return true. Let's run this and check now. Good, this return true. So that's the logic about this backspace using stack technique. So that's all for today. Thank you.